can say hey now. A little tribute to Howard Stern there, I guess. Man, what a crazy ass Raw we had tonight. The show was actually pretty damn crazy, man. SummerSlam, it was filled with good, it was filled with bad. The whole SummerSlam comes early thing really just pissed me off because I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. This tells me that you booked too many fucking matches for Sunday. So instead of the Cruiserweight match being on the pre-show, we're gonna get it tonight. We're probably gonna get a rematch of it on the pre-show as well. It just, a lot of this shit just did not make sense. WWE always does this. No, I'm sorry, but if you're in a feud together, you don't have a match before, except the Balor deal. The Balor deal, though, they should have fucking done this 2 weeks ago. They should have done this 2 damn weeks ago. I'm going to go ahead and put in the number for you to call in here tonight if you wish to call in. 434-710-4900. That's 434-710-4900. And you believe that you can call in right now. Let me see if I can go ahead and arrange this differently here tonight. We'll move this up here and we'll move this down here and make it a little bit bigger. How about that? That way you can actually see the phone number. There you go, 434-710-4900. That's 434-710-4900. Want to hear what you thought about tonight's Raw? Want to hear? We're also going to talk a little bit of New Japan tonight. A little bit of GFW news as well. And we are going to be happy to, that you're hanging around with us here tonight and call in. If you wish to call in, you can do so right now. We'll go ahead and put you on the air. Doesn't have to be wrestling related. We can talk about video games. We can talk about NASCAR. We can talk about anything you want to here tonight. But I will let you guys know that this show was just full of ups and downs. Full of it. We start off with a pretty decent video package on the Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose thing. Dean Ambrose makes his way to the ring, cuts his usual boring promo. I'm crazy. His usual crazy promo he got to cut. Basically, the gist of this is, I don't trust you. Well, I don't trust you either. Well, you don't trust me. Well, I don't trust you. You don't trust... Finally, they say fuck it and start attacking each other. They're outside the ring. They're brawling. And the one thing about this that really pissed me off is that some poor fan's cell phone has been dropped over the barricade. Within minutes, I guarantee you this thing probably has 100 followers now. I'm going to go there and find out. Let me check this out here. Let me check this out. Let's see how much this thing has now on Twitter. Already has 11 followers and is following 11 different people. Okay? The Raw phone has a Twitter. It's at Raw phone. If you want to, everyone's favorite broken phone, hashtag broken phone. Literally, some idiot out there made a Twitter account based off of this damn dropped cell phone. That's how low we have come to, like, entertaining ourselves. The Raw phone has a Twitter account. It's at Raw phone, R-A-W-P-H-O-N-E. So anyway, somebody's cell phone got broken due to the brawl. Sheamus and Cesaro come out. Start instantly. Here's the thing, okay. Why would I come out if they're already fighting each other? Just let each other fight. Let them fight. Let them fuck themselves up. Why do I need to come out there and do it? I know. They're heels, Joe. It's wrestling. Okay. I'll give you that one. So they come out, and then all of a sudden they beat the fuck out of Sheamus and Cesaro, and Ambrose is in the ring, or Rollins is in the ring fending him off, and then Ambrose chops the barricade and comes back in. Ambrose puts the shield fist out there, takes it back. Rollins puts the shield fist in, takes it back. Then they signed off. Same time, man. Same time. Same time. They both put the fist shield in. And I got to tell you, the crowd reaction for this was awesome. This crowd tonight, typical Boston crowd, sat on their hands for some shit, really got into it on some other stuff. But the crowd was red hot for this, man. It truly was kind of a mark out moment to see that fist pump go down. I'll admit, it was a good story with these two. The story's good, but the promos telling the story are weak. Does that make any sense? I guess in wrestling it does. It's a good story if they'd execute it properly. The fist bump came in there, and they did the shield hand fist bump, and the crowd just went absolutely ballistic. Because you know what they're thinking. After SummerSlam, we're gonna get Roman Reigns in on this. Well, I got a fucking crazy ass thing for you guys. It's not gonna happen. I hate to burst your bubble. We're not getting a Shield reunion. It's just not gonna happen. Roman Reigns is their guy. It's just the way it is. But this was a good moment. Kurt Angle then comes out and announces Sheamus and Cesaro will defend the tag titles against Seth and Dean at SummerSlam. So I guess the deal is the fans want to see these guys team up more. Okay? The fans want this because they're both stale as fuck on their own, let's face it. Dean Ambrose has been stale ever since the Shield broke up. Seth Rollins has been stale ever since he came back and they fucked up his babyface turn that should have happened when he first came back. So what are Vince has two options. He either keeps them apart and has Sheamus and Cesaro retain and then has Rollins and Ambrose go into a program with each other, fighting each other, which no one wants to see. Or he gives the titles to Rollins and Ambrose and makes sure that they team together again, forever cock-teasing the fans with a Shield reunion. Here's the way I see this at SummerSlam. They probably will not go this route, but if I were booking this shit, if I were booking this deal, I'd have them come out to the Shield music. Oh, well, you can't because that's Roman Reigns' music, so you can't have them come out to do that. At least have them come out through the crowd with flak jackets on. Come on. Oh, we can't do that because Roman Reigns still wears a flak jacket to the fucking ring 3 years later. Are you seeing are you seeing my point here? Are you seeing what I'm getting at? Seth Rollins branched out, did his own thing. We'll get to G1 here in a minute. I am going to talk about the G1 tonight. But Rollins, they branched out and did a heel turn with him. A lot of people said it was a boring heel turn. I didn't mind it so much. Dean Ambrose branched out, did his own thing. Became a good babyface. Sometimes he was a heel. You know, the Royal Rumble deal where they had the blizzard, and he's like, I trekked all the way in the blizzard just to get up here to Stanford. That was good. And then they just slowly but surely just went to shit. But they gave him his own music. They gave him different ring gear. He did his own thing. Roman Reigns, which we'll get to later, same music, same chest protector, only he's got his symbol on it now instead of the shields. Same gimmick. Nothing's changed. It's stale. So while they should have this grand Shield reunion, even if it's only these two, while they should be able to come to the ring wearing the old school Shield music, doing the old school entrance, because heaven forbid, it should actually get the heels scared of the baby faces. They're not going to do it. They can't do it. They honestly can't do it. We can't have two people using the same music on the show. Reigns would benefit from a haircut and a new look. So then there's a lifeguard stand at ringside. A lifeguard stand. They did mention the health issues related to Ric Flair, which was good of them to mention it. Well, we wish Ric Flair the best. I'll tell you right now, man, I hope to God he pulls through this and kicks out of it. I really do, man. We can't stand to lose Ric Flair. I shouldn't laugh at it, but I mean, it's like, man, there's so many deaths in wrestling now. It's like we can't afford to lose Rick. So there's a lifeguard stand at ringside. Yes, it's SummerSlam, biggest party of the summer. I could understand it if the thing had a beach theme like it did when Brock Lesnar F5'd the Shark. But it doesn't. It has a graffiti subway theme. Nothing about this says lifeguard stand to me. Nothing about Boston says lifeguard stand. Nothing about Alexa Bliss has lifeguard stand. Why? Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks in a number one contenders match. Before the match starts, Alexa comes out and sits in the lifeguard stand. Sasha forearms Nia. And they do a little bit back and forth. And we go to commercial. So I figured I'm going to get up. Well, I'll put it to you this way. After the Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose thing, I got up to go wash dishes. Because I'm a good boyfriend and I do that sort of thing. My girlfriend cooked, I wash the dishes. It's generally what happens every Monday. By the time I filled up the sink with water and put the plates and the silverware in the sink, I'm coming back thinking, I'll catch part of the first part of the Sasha and Nia match. That's enough time for them to do their entrances, give a little background on why the match is happening. But no, I come back, the bell has already rang and they're already in commercial. So then they come back, and I liked the match. The match was good. I actually liked the match. I think Nia Jax, once again, I've said it week after week after week, Nia Jax is such a beautiful woman. Get her out of that damn sausage suit ring gear. She needs way better ring gear than this. So then they go to another commercial here halfway through the match. And immediately, someone on Twitter puts out, another commercial? What the fuck? Heaven forbid WWE tries to actually make money and, sell some ads and all that good stuff. We'll get to Emma too there, Bobby. We're going in order here tonight. But again, the sensitive universe, they cut to 2 commercials during the match. I guarantee you if this was a match with 2 men in it, nothing would be said. But the fact that it's got 2 women in it has the whole entire sensitive universe up in arms. How many times have we seen these 2 fight against each other? The match was good. The match was really good, actually. I mean, I like the finish. I love the finish of this match. The bank statement, Nia crawling to the ropes. Switches her arms to get her from going to the ropes. Nia gets to her feet. Sasha gets the DDT and reapplies the bank statement. I love the finish of this match. You need to go out of your way to see this match because it was decent. It was actually very good, especially the finish. Sasha Banks wins. I don't think it's good having Nia Jax tap out, but it's WWE. Heaven forbid they protect a monstrous heel, So Sasha Banks is going to fight Alexa Bliss. I don't think Sasha Banks is winning the title at SummerSlam because here's my theory. Somebody, of course, on Twitter, again, the sensitive universe, caught up with Paige at a bar. I think sometime today or yesterday. Put her on video and asked her, when are you coming back? And she goes, hopefully in a couple months. I got to get cleared by the WWE doctors. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think she, along with WWE and everybody else, is trolling you. I think she's cleared. And I think Alexa Bliss is going to come out there the night after SummerSlam and preach about how she's still the champion. And Paige is going to return the night after SummerSlam in the Barclays Center. Take it to Vegas. I'm telling you right now. Hell, I don't think it matters who wins this belt on Sunday. Sasha and Alexa are going to have a good match. But I think regardless of who wins, you're still going to have Paige come out there the next night and be your new challenger. That's where they're going with it. It's going to be a hell of a surprise. It's going to make for a good rating. It's going to get everybody talking. That New York crowd, oh my God. If Paige returns in New York, they are going to have to mute the crowd completely. I'm not talking Roman Reigns turn down the mics. I'm talking mute the motherfuckers. Kurt Angle's in his office when the Hardys come in. Says they were going to face the Revival, but they are injured. Hardy says it would have been delightful. Miz enters. Wants to know what Kurt's going to do last week. He says, I ain't going to do anything. And he tells Curtis Axel he's going to be facing Jason Jordan. Says if they have anything else to do, why not deal with Brock? Miz says that he is going to face Jason Jordan tonight. And then a referee comes in and goes, there's something happening with Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. And we quickly cut to commercial. We're back, and Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor are being pulled apart in the back. Kurt Angle tells him to wait till SummerSlam. Finn doesn't want to wait. And Kurt says, fine, SummerSlam's going to come early. They're going to have the match tonight. Okay. This should have happened 2 weeks ago. Okay. Elias is in the ring. Wants to know who wants to walk with Elias. And I will tell you, I like Elias Sampson's new shirt. Reminds me of an old school rock and roll t-shirt. I like it. Elias, of course, getting cheap heat. Calling Fenway Park a dump. He's interrupted by none other than R-Truth. R-Truth, is getting in the ring, doing his what's up. And as he's coming through the ropes, Elias kicks him on the apron. And then Elias hits the fade away. And that's it. Shark Cage lowers. And we go to commercial. Big Cass comes to the ring. And he has got Roman Reigns heat now. If this isn't a crowd's way of telling Vince McMahon, hey, enough with the big guy fetish already. Enough with the 7-foot tall fetish already. Vince has a foot fetish. That's if you're over 6'5", he instantly loves you. It's Vince McMahon's foot fetish. The crowd instantly boos every single time he goes to say this Sunday at SummerSlam. The crowd gives him the Roman Reigns heat. And he addresses it. You guys, I got all night. Y'all could boo me all you want to. Go ahead. I got all night. What would have been awesome is if he said, go ahead and boo me. I got all night. It's you guys that got to report to your silly ass 9-to-5 jobs tomorrow. Something like that. But now we got to walk on eggshells in WWE. So, here's what's confusing about this. He says, Sunday it's going to be Big Show versus Big Cass and the Big Apple. I kind of like that. Says Big Show will bring his new buddy, Enzo Amore, with him. And he talks about Enzo, not getting along with people in the back and being the funny guy. And honestly, this is a written promo. You could so tell this was written. But I liked Enzo's delivery of this. Cass's delivery of this. It's not that bad. We've seen much worse. So, here's what I don't get about this. You have the heel talking about how the babyface is a coward and won't face him one-on-one and how he needs a backup and that he's too chicken shit to face him. So then you have the babyface come out, and what does the babyface do? The babyface turns around and proves the heel right by instantly bringing out the Big Show. And then they all get in the ring. And then out of nowhere, Gallows and Anderson come in and start attacking Big Show and Cass. Cass gets knocked out the ring, humiliated yet again, made to look weak yet again. The Big Show gets a belt wrapped around his wrist, and they maneuver it to where his wrist is in the shark cage, and they slam the door on his wrist and on his hand. So Big Show now has a broken hand. And here I am thinking, what the fuck do Gallows and Anderson have to do with any of this? Because I quite frankly don't remember what they have to do with any of this. Are they aligned with Big Cass? Are they Big Cass's insurance policy for Sunday? The bottom line here is Enzo Amore is made to look like a complete idiot again, but you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter because people are still going to buy his merch. People are still going to chant his shit, no matter how annoying he is. He's making Vince money, whether the people like it or not, no matter how much of an idiot. I'll tell you this. I'll put it to you this way. Enzo Amore is only one step up from being Chappie. A small step up from being Chappie for all you CWF fans out there. Maybe we'll see Enzo get thrown out of there. You know, maybe they'll pull a Chappie and get rid of him. Anyway. Match number 2. Yeah, here it is. 22 minutes into this breakdown, and we're only up to match number 2. Akira Tozawa with Titus O'Neil versus Neville for the WWE Cruiserweight title. This match was awesome. This match was great. It told a story. It told a beautiful story. Tozawa looked good. Neville made Tozawa look good. Put him over like $1 million. I like where they're going with the Titus brand thing. And here's where I know WWE, they're not going to go this route, but I can tell you right now that if I were them, I would be looking to make this damn Titus brand thing look kind of like a babyface version of the Heenan family. Tozawa has his brand, and he comes out with 3 or 4 different guys a night. I would love to see that. Bringing back managers, making them mean something. It can work in 2017, folks. It could damn sure work in 2017. They kept putting over, hey, this is a huge deal for the Titus brand, and what a good thing it'll be for the Titus brand. And, you know, not only does it help Titus O'Neil and Tozawa, but it also helps out Apollo Crews as well, because Apollo Crews is also part of that Titus brand, that family. They kept putting that over, but I'm sitting here in the back of my mind going, it ain't going to mean shit in 2 weeks. It ain't going to make a damn bit of sense in 2 weeks. I liked the match, though. The match was really good. The finish was, I think the story of this match was every time Tozawa went up for that senton, Neville would stop him. Every single time. There was at least 2 or 3 times where Tozawa, you may think Tozawa was going to get it, and bam, Neville stopped him, cut him to the quick. There was even a damn good superplex in this match. I can't remember the last time I popped for a superplex. The superplex that happened during this match was really good. Looked really devastating. And then, like I said, Tozawa just cannot get that senton. He cannot get that senton off the top rope. And then Neville tries for the red arrow, misses. Tozawa finally gets that senton. And finally gets the 3 count. And finally wins the Cruiserweight Championship. I liked it. If the Cruiserweights were booked like this every week, we wouldn't have a fucking issue. But no, we got to see Cedric Alexander and Alicia Fox and somebody else have a damn love triangle for 3 months on end. They did say earlier in the show that Tozawa was going to have his celebration on 205 Live. Well, here's the gist, long and the short of it. Here's the gist. Nobody's going to watch it. And I guarantee you we're going to see these two again on the pre-show of SummerSlam. And I dare say that the way WWE books things, Neville's going to get his title back, and it'll all be for nothing. But I like the match. I like the celebration afterwards with Apollo Crews coming in and Tozawa getting put on Titus's shoulders. It was good. Big Show finds out that his hand's broken, and then Mickie James and Emma are in the locker room. I don't like what they're doing with Emma. When she came back, she was like really on fire, standing on the announce table. Hey, I'm back. And now they are putting her in a match with Mickie James. Hell, I thought Mickie James would be getting better treatment than this. Both of these women deserve better. But no, we get the Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax thing for 300 times. And here's the rub to you guys. If Nia Jax does get that title, if you think they're going to put any kind of stock into her, any kind of backing into her whatsoever, no. When have they ever? Because two things end up happening. Either they make her hot potato that title to somebody else straight away, or she gets injured and they have to do that anyway. Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor is next. I'll be honest with you. Most of this match was, it was okay. It's pretty decent. The finish of it was like, huh? And Bray Wyatt finally gets a win here. The one moment where you want Bray Wyatt, like I said, this should have happened about 2 weeks ago, to be honest. It really should have. And this is where they made the mistake of breaking up the Wyatt family, because they could have been doing Finn versus Harper, Finn versus Rowan. So, Balor gets caught up in the Sister Abigail, gets a clean loss. After the match, Bray hits another Sister Abigail on him. The lights go out, comes back up, and he's got a... You could see what was in this bucket before he even poured it on him. Because the wide camera shot and the way he was holding the bucket, I was like, oh shit, bloodbath. Cool. Haven't seen this since the Brood. It would have been better if they did it in the dark. Where if in the dark, they, you get the Bray Wyatt, and then the lights go out. And then Balor is in the, maybe Balor is in the ring covered in the blood, and Bray Wyatt is nowhere to be found. But no, they got to do the whole, he pours it all over him. A lot of the... Here's what kills me about this. A lot of the whole Sister Abigail's period jokes started right away on Twitter. Way to go, Sensitive Universe. Way to go. And instantly, my girlfriend's sitting here watching this with me. And instantly, she's like, cue the red corn syrup. Like I said, if they would have done it the old Brood way of the actual bloodbath where the lights go out, it wouldn't have looked so folky, or so hokey. But here, it looked kind of hokey. And he's rolling around in the blood, and he's got the blood in his eyes. And it's just, oh, come on. There's so many better ways to do this. The card's good, but the booking and the storytelling leading up to this, I mean, it's like they got good stories going on, and then they do shit like this. We're back. Mickie James versus Emma. Long and the short of it is, Mickie James escapes a slam, hits the mitt kick, and gets the win. Emma, once again, gets treated like shit. I'm high on Emma. I mean, I'll be honest, when she was in NXT doing the dancing thing, I used to call her the retarded robot, because that's what she looked like. But here, I like heel Emma. I like the new Emma. They screwed the pooch on her when they took her away from when she got injured, and then they were like, oh, we're going to bring back as Emmalina, and they teased that for about 10, 12 weeks, and we end up just getting, no, we gave up on that. Miz, Maurice, Curtis Axel, and Bro Dallas walk in the back. We go to commercial. Finn Balor comes out of Kurt Angle's office. He's asked about the meeting. Finn says he talked to Kurt, and he's got a rematch on Sunday. And Bray has his demons, but Bray's going to find out that Finn has his demons too. Shouldn't it be singular, his demon too? Or demons does sound better. It's the wrestling business. Wrestlers and their demons. The Miz versus Jason Jordan in a non-title match. God. I even got to cover this. So basically, Jordan here is booked to go over The Miz, but Axel and Dallas come in, attack Jordan. The referee calls for the bell. Matt and Jeff come out and make the save. Matt and Jeff Hardy come out and make the save. Again, it's just like the damn Gallows and Anderson's run in. What does this have? What did Matt and Jeff Hardy have to do with this? It makes no sense. They hit poetry in motion on The Miz. Jordan gets overhead belly to belly. That's where it should have ended. But no. Holla, 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 playa. We go to commercial and come back, and it's now been made a tag team match. With, guess what? Jordan, Hardy, and the Hardys getting the win. And guess what? They're out of Canada. They're back in the U.S., and the crowd still can't stand Jason Jordan. You could have heard a fucking pin drop when he was going up against The Miz at the first part of this. Thank God they sent the Hardys out there to save the segment and get the crowd back. We are told now that it's official that the Demon will be, Finn Balor will be facing Bray Wyatt. Why not make it a damn mystery? This is where they fucked it up again. Why did they even have to tell? You could have left it as, I have my demons too, and it gets brung back as a surprise. You didn't have to promote this. You didn't have to, what do you think? We're stupid that we don't remember this? We don't remember that he has this inner demon persona that he could bring out every now and then when he wants to get things done? Nah, we gotta come out and tell you. We gotta spoil shit, man. Goddamn, pal. They don't know who that is. Again, they didn't need to say it. They already told you that they're fighting each other again at SummerSlam. You did not have to show a graphic with him in the makeup at all. Final segment here. Kurt Angle's in the ring, and he's got the security guards around him. Oh, God, here we go. One of them, which had a totally indie wrestler haircut. Sorry. You can look at half of those guys and tell that they're local indie workers just by their haircut. Brock Lesnar is joined by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's pretty much like, hey, shooting the same stuff. Calls Samoa Joe the rip-off Samoan and says that if he loses the title, if Brock loses the title on Sunday, we're going to leave and you might as well lock the beast up in a cage. Ha ha, wink wink, nudge nudge. So then Samoa Joe comes to the ring and he pushes one of the security guards at ringside. He told Brock from day one he doesn't fear him. And he basically, how am I going to win the title? Then Braun Strowman comes out, and Braun Strowman's got merch. I actually like the damn Braun Strowman t-shirt. I think it looks pretty cool for Braun. Says, I'm the last man standing. Just ask Roman Reigns. And Joe says, last week had nothing to do with you. Last week, Roman was stomping around the building until he arrived, and stomping him around the building until Joe arrived, and then Roman Reigns comes to the ring to a chorus of boos, and they instantly turn the crowd mics down. So then they all, Reigns hits a spear to Joe. Braun gives Roman a power slam. So Joe and Roman are out of it, and it comes down to him and Brock. Security then comes in after everybody's already been hit with moves by the other two. Now the security guards, now the indie guys dressed as security guards, the extras, come in. And they pull him apart, and Brock gets away and get a few punches in. Then they start destroying the security. Kurt Angle calls for more help to the back. We have a huge pull apart until they're separated. Joe is held back on the floor, so is Roman Reigns. Brock dives onto Strowman, hits a pile of protectors. Strowman gets in a few shots on Lesnar, and then we go to credits with them being pulled apart. We kind of figured it was going to be that way, kind of booked that way as they typically do with these type of matches. It's got to be bedlam at the end of that go-home Raw. And I will admit, they are leaving doubt in me as to who is going to win this match on Sunday. I don't know. I can't tell you which way they're going to go with it. I will say if Brock loses, he's immediately going to go back on the USADA list and start his training camp. Because if Brock loses on Sunday, then that means him and John Jones are going to fight. Honestly, I think him and John Jones are going to fight probably regardless, but this means it's going to happen sooner rather than later. So that was Raw. If you have anything to talk about tonight as far as that show goes, let us know what you think. 434-710-4900. That's 434-710-4900. We'll put you on the air here. You can give us your thoughts on what happened tonight on Raw. Let's switch over to New Japan. Got to ask the question, did you like Omega Okada 3 or Naito Omega? It's really hard for me to pick a favorite there because they were both good, but if I had to, Omega and Okada 3 was damn good. I mean, I honestly really can't pick a favorite. I'll say they were both the same. I give both of them at least 5 stars if I had to give a star rating. The Naito Omega match, I was listening to Meltzer's coverage of this thing, and he pointed out something, and then I had to go back and watch the match. The table spot where Naito and Omega are up on the table, and it looks like they slip off the table and go to the floor. That was a planned spot, because if you watch it, they moved the guardrail out of the way. It looks so good. And the fact that Naito won the G1, first off, I'm glad it's over. I'm sure the wrestlers are too, but as a fan, I'm burnt out. I agree with what Meltzer says. They need to make this tournament shorter. Do like 4 blocks instead of 3. I don't know. The card, I stayed up till 2 a.m. to watch the card last night. Or night before. It's all a blur, folks. And I got to tell you, I almost stayed awake for it until they announced that every other match on this card was a fucking tag match. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I know that's how they book it. That's how it should be with tournaments. But good Lord, I was like, I'm not sitting through this many tag matches. I'll watch it tomorrow. And I went to bed. So I like both of their matches. I'm glad Naito won. I'm glad Daryl is back. Cats have 9 lives. Daryl is back. Naito gave Daryl the fist bump afterwards, and he acted like he was gonna throw the trophy into the ring, out of the ring onto the floor and break it, but he didn't. Afterwards, you got something with Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega in the back, teasing at each other. They kind of hugged each other, embraced each other, and then having words with each other. So maybe something there will be starting. I don't see Ibushi as a heavyweight, but okay. How can you have Ibushi as a heavyweight in Japan? I mean, I know what you're going to say. Well, it's Japan, one's WWE. You can't really compare the two. But U.S. fans just saw this guy a couple years ago compete in the Cruiserweight Classic. And now he's fighting somebody who's going after a heavyweight title in Japan. And the days of everything blurring together and the social media and the days of everything is no longer behind borders as far as wrestling goes, that shit does matter. You can't sit there and say, well, it's 2 separate things, Joe. Yes, it is 2 separate things, but, it would be like if they booked... It's like if they book Rey Mysterio to come back and win the World Heavyweight title, and then they immediately after he drops it say, no, you're going to the Cruiserweight title. The weight classes have to mean so much, I guess, back there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's, yes, in New Japan, it's a different weight class. Maybe he's in a different weight class permanently now. And Joe, it's WWE, so WWE gets a pass. Nothing in WWE matters when it comes to New Japan. Well, guess what? Guess what? I got a feeling. As New Japan starts getting more and more prominent, WWE's going to sit up and take notice. Because from what I've been hearing, the fandom is growing for it here in the U.S. I'm probably going to venture out. I should venture out tomorrow sometime or Friday. Someday this week, I'm going to go to the local Hot Topic here and see if they have any Bullet Club t-shirts. Sad part is, Hot Topic doesn't have shit that fits me. So I have to go to ProWrestlingTees.com to buy a Bullet Club or an American Nightmare shirt if I want it. Hot Topic gets back on Twitter and goes, we carry up to a 3X online. Okay, the last time I checked, my fat ass hasn't been able to fit into a 3X in about 10 years, but I'll try it on. Come on. May not look that big, but I don't like shirts that fit tightly on my body. I don't want to feel like I'm being smothered. I like, baggy clothing. I like to feel comfortable. Anyway. But I liked how the G1 turned out. As soon as Naito won his block, I was like, okay, he's winning it. And I'm glad Naito won it. I'm glad they're giving Los Ingobernables de Japón a bigger push, if you will. That whole faction is getting a bigger push, as well it should be, because it's probably my favorite faction in New Japan right now. Let's talk about GFW here for a minute. By the way, if you want to call in and talk about any of this, please feel free to do so. 434-710-4900. That's 434-710-4900. Give us a call. Let us know what you thought about Raw. Let us know what you thought about the G1. GFW announced today, they did not now announce that Del Rio or De Patron was unsuspended, because he's still suspended. But he has been stripped of the GFW title. They're filming TV. They are filming TV this week in Orlando, so I'm curious to see where they go with that. They're probably going to crown a new champion. My bet is, guess what? What do you do when you strip someone of the title? You do what everybody does in wrestling, the new fad. They're going to probably hold a fucking tournament. Yay, that's all we need in wrestling now is another tournament. The Weaver Cup gets a pass with me. They do the Weaver Cup every year. They were on the bandwagon before the bandwagon was the thing. But now everybody in their fucking mother's promotion has to have a tournament. Yay, we got to have a tournament. I'm sick of tournaments. But I guarantee you that's the route they go. We're going to hold a tournament. Instead of, I don't know. I mean, who cares what GFW is doing? The bottom line is they're probably going to end up, I think the next step is to go ahead. They're waiting on something to happen with Del Rio and Page one more time. They're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and they're waiting for them to get themselves on TMZ one more time before they finally be like, nope, that's it. We don't need this shit. You're fired. I'm of the opinion of they never should have brung him in to begin with. If you ask me, they should have never brung him in there. They should have. He doesn't really fit in there, if you ask me. Where does Del Rio fit in? If you ask me right now, he's such a pain in the ass, he doesn't fit in wrestling. Go back to Mexico. Go back to whatever Mexican promotion you can find and wrestle down there. We don't want you here, dude. You're just fucking. You're nothing but a fucking eyesore. You can't really work all that great. You act like an idiot in locker rooms. You think you're better than what you are. You're not worth the fucking money you get. Just go back home. Go back to MMA. Get out of my pro wrestling. He just doesn't belong. Hell, as AC has said many times on this show, the people up at NEW can't, the crowds up there in the Northeast can't stand his ass. So we have an updated SummerSlam lineup. I guess we can use this time to give my predictions. I do not know. With them doing a 5-hour fucking show, 4 hours, 6 hours, I don't know if I'm going to do a pre-show. I'll do a post-show this weekend. I don't even know if I'm doing a post-show because I start training for a new job on Monday. So, next Monday. So if I do a post-show, it's going to be a very, very short one. So the updated card. You got the Fatal 4-Way for the title. Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Samoa Joe. Lesnar and Heyman claiming they will leave WWE if Lesnar loses the title. Jinder Mahal is going to take on Shinsuke Nakamura. Interested to see where that one goes. I'm interested to see what they do for the go-home show tomorrow night on SmackDown. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the guest referee. I hope this is the end of this feud. I really do. As much as I like seeing these two go together, it's time for AJ. It's time for AJ and Owens to go off and do something else. Alexa Bliss is going up against Sasha Banks. That got determined tonight. Say right now, I think Alexa should retain. And then you have a babyface Paige come back. I just got a feeling they're going to boo the fuck out of Paige in New York if they do bring her back as a heel or babyface. So maybe they don't bring her back there. 11 out of 12 matches is too excessive. Yes. It's a big show, so you got to have a lot of matches. You got to have at least 10. What do they normally do on a regular pay-per-view? They have what? 6 or 7? 8 if you're lucky? They got Naomi going up against Natalya. Oh, yeah, they're all going to be short. None of these. That's why I'm sitting there going, okay, maybe they'll knock out the Cruiserweight title match. And they'll put one of these on the pre-show. But then I'm sitting here thinking the way they booked this, you really can't put any of these on a pre-show because they're too big to be on a pre-show. If I'm booking it, I put Naomi and Natalya on the pre-show, but oh my God, you don't want to piss off the sensitive universe. You don't want to get them, oh my God, they put the women on the pre-show. Why'd they put the women on the pre-show? They must really hate women if they're putting them on the pre-show. You know you'll get that. And that's not me being sexist. That's telling you how it is. You'll get such a Twitter backlash of why they put the women on the pre-show, and then they'll have to do it again. They'll have to put the women in the main event of Raw and SmackDown the following 2 nights just to shut them idiots up. To me, you're probably going to have a rematch for the Cruiserweight belts, and they'll go on the pre-show. But you got to have 2 pre-show matches, I think. Cesaro and Sheamus versus Ambrose and Rollins, that's not going on the pre-show because you got the whole Shield reunion thing. Bliss and Sasha's not going on the pre-show. AJ and Owens damn sure ain't going on the pre-show because you got a McMahon as the ref. Nakamura and Mahal and the 4-Way ain't going on the pre-show because those are big titles. What do you put, Randy Orton versus Rusev on the pre-show? You know damn well Randy Orton's not going on the pre-show. John Cena versus Baron Corbin? Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if that main event's it because it's Big John Cena. Anyway. Here's a match to me for the pre-show. You can put the tag champions on the pre-show. The Usos versus the New Day. Why? Both of them have fizzled out and don't mean a damn thing. Put them on the pre-show. Big Cass versus Big Show with Enzo. You're not going to put that on a pre-show. That's a go-to-the-bathroom match right there. And the only reason why I say you're not going to have that on the pre-show is because it's a gimmick match. They got to sell the cage. Balor bringing the Demon out for the first time in a year. versus Bray Wyatt. Yes, the last time we saw the Demon was at SummerSlam last year when he won the Universal title. Here it is, 1 year after the draft, and this is where we're at. A lot has changed in a year. I will give them that. I will give them that. If you look back a year ago and look at this card now, it's a damn sure different WWE. So there's your card. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Yeah, it's 11 matches. Which is what SummerSlam should be because it's their second biggest pay-per-view of the year. And it's there, you know, the big four are always treated like really good events. They always start an hour early. So you're going to need extra matches. With a 5-hour freaking show or 4-hour show, you'd think that these matches would get some time. I'll get out the slide rule here for you. Let's say it just sticks with these 11 matches and you put the 12th match, which is the Cruiserweight title on the pre-show. You have 4 hours. So you have 60 times 4. It's 240 minutes. You divide that by the 11 matches on the show. You could give these people easily 21 minutes plus entrances. Now let's say you take about 10 minutes out of that for ads and video packages and shit like that. You could probably make it to where you give them around 10 minutes apiece. 10 minutes apiece. That's all these guys are going to get. But guess what? That ain't going to happen because the main event's probably going to get about 30 minutes. Jinder and Shinsuke will probably get about 15. AJ and Owens will probably get about 20. Bliss and Sasha, it's a women's title match. They'll probably get 10 minutes if they're lucky. Naomi and Natalya, 6 minutes if they're lucky. The tag match, Dean Ambrose and Seth and them, 15 minutes if you're lucky. I mean, I know I'm going out the realm, so I'm not keeping a tally, but you've got to remember, all these matches have got to have at least two-minute video packages leading into them. Guess what? They're the same video packages you're going to watch on the pre-show, so why re-air them? Because you're telling me that everybody I'm sorry, the hardcore fans don't give a fuck about the video packages anyway. We already know the story because they've been watching every week. We know what the deal is. Everybody's saying Nakamura's going to have a big violin entrance. They're going to give him the big violin entrance, which he should. I'll tell you right now, if they give him the big entrance, he's not winning the title. Maybe he does. I don't know. I really don't know. I doubt very seriously that they give Nakamura that title this Sunday. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn is this Saturday. Kind of looking forward to this one. Even though developmental doesn't mean shit anymore. You know, even though what they've told you, you know, pretty much is don't get used to these talents because as soon as they're brought up to the main roster, we're going to fuck them up. But we can enjoy it while it lasts, right? You got Johnny Gargano versus Andre Almas with Zelina Vega. In a singles match, Aleister Black versus the now heel Hideo Itami. The Authors of Pain versus Sanity. I'm actually looking forward to that one. Asuka versus Ember Moon. Can Asuka be beaten? I don't know. I don't know. Does Ember Moon find... I will say this. If Ember Moon... Here's the thing. Okay. Here's the deal. To lay this out for you. If they do the Paige thing on Raw, then I could totally see, okay, there's a lot of ways you could go with this. Bottom line is, if Asuka loses this match on Saturday, she's main roster bound. The second she loses that belt, she's main roster bound. The clue is, the only thing is, where do you put Asuka? Do you put her up against Alexa Bliss on the Raw side, or do you put her up against Naomi on the SmackDown side? If she goes up against Alexa Bliss instead of doing Paige, then she's a damn babyface. If she goes up against Naomi, she could still be a babyface, but chances are the crowd would heel her. Or at least that's what WWE would want to happen. Maybe you put Paige on SmackDown. Maybe you put Paige on SmackDown as a heel. They're in the Barclays Tuesday night too. Because here's the rib. Somebody said it on their podcast. I think it was Jericho said it. They got 3 last year when they did this 3 nights at the Barclays Center. Now you got with this damn SmackDown Live thing. I think they did it SmackDown Live at the Barclays Center the next night too. They got 3 nights for the price of 1. Now you got 4 nights for the price of 1. They're probably giving them 4 nights for the price of 2. The Barclays Center is very, very cheap to rent. They want people in that building so bad. So Asuka versus Ember Moon. Here's the problem. If you have Asuka leave that women's division, it's kind of sour because Ember Moon's not enough to carry it. You got Nikki Cross and what's her name? Ruby Riott. You got Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, who are more divas than women's wrestlers. Yes, to me, there's still a difference. They just don't fit into the whole women's revolution thing. Sorry, guys. They don't. I'm sure they're phenomenal people, but if this was 5 years ago, they'd be up there having pudding matches. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. So, I mean, Authors of Pain and Sanity, I am looking forward to that one. But Asuka and Ember Moon, I don't know who's going to win. Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre. Same thing right now. Is it time for Bobby Roode to go up into the main roster? With the way the main roster is today, no. With the way the main roster is right now, they don't need Bobby Roode up there yet. There's not a real spot for Bobby Roode up there, in my opinion. Bobby Roode comes up there now, he's going to be teaming with Mike Kanellis before you know it. I guarantee you that. What I would do is I don't think Drew McIntyre needs the belt yet. I don't think he's been... I mean, yes, it's Drew McIntyre. He has his reputation precedes him. But I think Drew McIntyre, it's too early to put the title on him. He just came back. Bobby Roode's reign as the champion, in my opinion, is not done. His story has not been completed yet. What I do think you do is maybe you have Bobby Roode come out there or lose the belt, and then Wednesday when they do tapings at Full Sail, or Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever they do them at Full Sail, you debut Adam Cole. And you have Adam Cole go up against Bobby Roode. Now again, right now, the way things are now, I don't want to see Bobby Roode on the main roster yet. Why? Because he'll get lost in the shuffle. They will ruin him. They will ruin him. Think about it. Look at what just happened with Jason Jordan, for crying out loud. Yes, Jason Jordan has been up there for a while now, but they've ruined American Alpha. They ruined the Vaudevillains. They ruined Tyler Breeze. The only person I can think of from NXT that they really haven't ruined has been Kevin Owens. They've ruined Finn Balor. So no, right now I don't want to see people like Asuka who are very talented come up. No, I don't want to see Bobby Roode coming up, who's very talented. Why? Why? One person, Vince McMahon. I saw a video on What Culture today about how WWE's ruined Bayley and they missed their opportunity. Enough of the they. What do they got? Does Vince have a fucking mouse in his pocket? Enough of this. Well, WWE has ruined this guy. Well, WWE has ruined that guy. They've ruined that guy. How can the writers do this? Blah, 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 blah. Get over yourself. It's one guy. It's one guy. It's the 70-some-year-old fart who still thinks bucket choppy pee-pee would be funny in 2017. I guarantee you, he would think, here, it's Vince. There's one guy to blame. And it's not going to change until until he finally decides to step aside or die. It's the long and the short of it, folks. I know it's not polite to sit there these days and go, somebody has to die to make a change. But in this situation, Vince has to either retire or die for there to be a drastic change in their business model. It's one guy. I get so sick of seeing these videos where they go, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to book. They have ruined NXT. They ruined Jason Jordan. They ruined it. No, it's Vince did this. Vince ruined NXT. Vince has ruined the ratings. Vince has ruined the booking. Because they have a bunch of writers. That's just true. But it all goes through one filter. Again, my thing that I did it a year ago on 1650. I did a whole podcast about this, changing the filter. But that's how I feel about NXT. Right now, I don't want to see Bobby Roode come up, so I hope he retains. I don't want to see Asuka come up. I hope he retains. Sanity. If they bring Sanity up, oh my God, Sanity's a wonderful group. I love me some Killian Dane, man. I like Eric Young where he's at. Alexander Wolf is growing on me. And I love me some Nikki Cross. I love that group. I like their entrance. I like everything about them. But if they bring them up there, if they bring them up on that main roster, it's going to be ruined. Same thing with Aleister Black, the former Tommy End. Entrance is good. It's going to look good on the main stage. But then Vince is going to get his hands on him. He's going to ruin him. I've been saying it for 2 fucking years now. I believe I've been saying it ever since the first takeover, or that takeover in London. Or after the takeover in London, when they brung up the Vaudevillains, I said, that's it. It's done. Look at what they've done with Bayley. Look at what they've done to Bayley. We thought Bayley was going to be the next female John Cena. She's in with the kids. The adults like her. She can do her work a little bit. Who better than Bayley? That's what I said on this show before. But now fans are cheering because she's injured, or they're. I look at it this way. Yes, we can say it's Canada or whatever the case may be. They're booing the booking. The problem is Vince is not seeing it as you booing the booking. Vince is seeing it as, haha, I got a reaction out of you. It's like that friend in high school, that annoying friend in high school that comes up and keeps touching you. Am I annoying you yet? Am I annoying you yet? Am I annoying you yet? And then when you finally turn around and slap the motherfucker, he doesn't care that it hurts a little. He's laughing at you because he's got some sort of elicited the reaction out of you. The slap in the face may not be the reaction he wanted. Maybe he was getting a yes, can you stop? But he still got that reaction. So he knows. He knows. Maybe he doesn't come up and poke you the next time. Maybe next time it's a flick of the ear. Flick on the back of the ear. Comes up behind you, flicks you on the back of the ear. Does that to you 2 or 3 times. Then you smack him over that. Oh, I still got a reaction. So then he's walking down the street with you. And he comes up and gives you the flat tire where he steps on the heel of your shoe and causes you to trip. Oh, I still got that reaction. It's the wrong kind of reaction. The shit shouldn't be happening. You could be a nicer person. But nah, I just got to get that fucking reaction out of me. It's the way I see it. Only on a more annoying level. I don't see how people, golly, man. I don't see how people have. I look at it this way. Enjoy Bobby Roode while it lasts. Enjoy Glorious while it lasts. Enjoy Asuka while she lasts. Enjoy the Authors of Pain while they last. Because I guarantee you. Now, here's another thing. The Authors of Pain, they're going to ditch Paul Ellering. Vince is going to ditch Paul Ellering when he brings him up, these guys up to the main roster. But I guarantee you, the Authors of Pain is one tag team that I could see him pushing to the fucking moon. Or they're going to team him with them two with Samoa Joe. And Till Lindemann isn't even a Samoan. He's fucking Canadian. The guy who plays Akam is Canadian. The guy who plays Razor is Albanian. But I guarantee you Vince is going to be like, ha ha ha. They look like the Samoan SWAT team, pal. We got to put them with Joe. I guarantee you that's the rate they're going. I look at Asuka. God damn, pal, I don't care if she works. She's going to be Shinsuke's love interest. Look at Bobby Roode. Like you said, they're going to team him with Mike Kanellis. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. But TakeOver, the matches that they have for TakeOver, while they really aren't going to mean anything as far as these guys' main roster careers, the matches are going to be decent. TakeOver always delivers, man. I don't think we really had a bad TakeOver. We've had some that are better than others, but I mean, the last TakeOver they had was in Chicago, right before Backlash, and that was in May. The next one will probably be in Survivor Series. I don't know where Survivor Series is this year. I think it's in Houston again. Let me check on this here. Yeah, Survivor Series this year is in Houston, at the Toyota Center, again. And then they'll probably do one for the Rumble. Looking at this pay-per-view lineup here, you got let's see here. Let me look here, because the pay-per-views are going to start stacking up too here in a minute. So you got SummerSlam 2017 happening. After SummerSlam, they'll do the Mae Young Classic. And then they have No Mercy, which is happening on September 24th. It's a Raw brand pay-per-view. That's in Staples Center. But yeah, I don't know where they're going with this, guys. I really don't. I mean, like Bobby Ventura said, mixed feelings about the whole thing. Matches are going to be short. TakeOver is not going to be as bad. They'll give people time on TakeOver because TakeOver usually gets about 3 hours. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here for the night. Done about an hour here. It's about all I can do on this. I'll tell you the best thing that's happened in the last, 48 hours all weekend, because we've had a lot of shit going on, man. We've had a lot of shit going on, has been the G1. The fact that I can go online and watch, wrestling, and wrestling be my escape from all this crap happening. This shit's happening 2 hours north of me. That's all I'm going to say about it. I did a video about it. It sickens me. It sickens me, but wrestling has always been my kind of savior. Wrestling and video games. That's all I've been doing for the last 24 hours, it seems. Wrestling, video games, and cooking. That's what I love to do the most. So there you go. We're going to call it a night right there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you Wednesday Wednesday is the big unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show. We're going to talk all about the episode. I'm going to try to maybe get a guest on for not this show, but after the finals of the Weaver Cup. I may even try to go to the finals of the Weaver Cup. They've announced a bunch of stuff today on Twitter. So make sure you tune in Wednesday for that. Go ahead and give us a follow. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter. The Twitter handles are on your screen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you on Wednesday night.